Descending into my dark room in silence, I noticed the wall clock showing midnight. My parents had left for a business trip, leaving me alone at home for the weekend. A sudden sense of loneliness washed over me as I closed the door behind me. The night was gloomy, and the wind whispered mysteriously through the windows, creating eerie sounds. I decided to distract myself by turning on the television. An old horror movie was playing, and I was deeply immersed in the atmosphere of tension when suddenly the lights went out. The tension in the air escalated, and I felt my heart racing. The darkness became so thick that I could barely make out the contours of the room. Suddenly, a rustle echoed, and someone or something rushed past me. I shuddered and turned towards the sound, but saw nothing but darkness. Fear gripped me as I heard a faint whisper. "You're not alone, boy," the voice murmured, emanating from the darkness. I turned around, but there was no one to be seen. The voice was indistinct but sounded like the whisper of the departed. Deciding it was just my imagination, I returned to the television. However, as I sat back on the couch, the picture on the screen distorted, and the image of a strange silhouette appeared. It was a ghost pale, with hair slowly floating in the air. "You are in my house," the ghost said, its voice sounding through clenched teeth. "You must leave." Fear overwhelmed me, and I jumped off the couch, trying to find the door. Every step felt like an eternity, and I felt someone or something watching me. The air was filled with a crunching sound, as if the ghost's footsteps were following mine. Soon I found myself in a dark corridor where shadows danced from the flickering light of a bulb. Peering into the darkness, I noticed the outlines of ghostly figures standing at the end of the corridor. They were like shadows of departed souls, but with sparkling eyes fixed on me. "You shouldn't be here," the ghost's voice whispered from the darkness, sounding like a mix of laughter and crying. My heart pounded in rhythm with my steps as I tried to quicken my pace to escape this nightmare. In the room where I stopped, the walls seemed to squeeze, bending under an unknown force. Suddenly, a hand burst out of the darkness, clenching into a fist, as if trying to grab me. I ran out of the room, carving my way through the labyrinth of dark corridors. In every shadow I saw ghostly shapes, heard whispers and moans. Opening doors, I felt something following me from behind, but when I turned, I saw nothing. Finally, I reached the exit. The door stood before me, and I escaped onto the street, breathing in the fresh air. Yet, even there, in the dark night, I felt the gazes of the ghosts upon me. They stood by the gate, watching my departure. Looking up at the stars, I realized that the house harbored dark secrets, and I was just an accidental witness to their manifestation. In that moment, I decided never to return to that house where ghosts danced in the darkness and whispered their horrors.